In the quiet suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man named Jeffrey Dahmer was nurturing a darkness that would eventually shock the world. A seemingly ordinary individual, Dahmer was anything but. His name would become synonymous with some of the most gruesome and chilling crimes in American history. Born in 1960 to Lionel and Joyce Dahmer, Jeffrey's childhood was marked by isolation and a growing fascination with animals, particularly their bones. He would spend countless hours collecting and examining them, an early indicator of the morbid curiosity that would later define his actions. As Dahmer entered adolescence, his peculiar interest took a dark turn. He began to fantasize about dominating and controlling a completely submissive partner. These fantasies, initially devoid of any violent element, gradually became more sinister, culminating in the unthinkable. In 1978, Dahmer committed his first murder, killing a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks. The crime was spontaneous, driven by the fear of Hicks leaving him. Dahmer's method was brutal and his post-murder ritual shocking. He dismembered Hicks's body and buried the parts in his backyard. This marked the beginning of a 13-year killing spree that would claim the lives of 17 young men. Dahmer's modus operandi became chillingly consistent. He would lure his victims, often vulnerable young men, with promises of money or simply companionship. Once at his apartment, Dahmer would drug them, strangle them, and then engage in acts too horrific to describe. He would dismember the bodies and in some cases keep souvenirs. His crimes were not driven by rage or vengeance, but by a desire for control and possession. Dahmer's reign of terror ended in 1991, when Tracy Edwards, a would-be victim, managed to escape from his apartment and flag down 2 police officers. What they discovered within the walls of Dahmer's apartment was a house of horrors. Photographs of dismembered bodies, human remains, and evidence of his ghastly rituals. In 1992, Dahmer was tried and convicted for 15 of the 17 murders he had committed. He was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in prison, a total of 945 years. But Dahmer's story didn't end there. In 1994, just 2 years into his sentence, Dahmer's life was ended by fellow inmate Christopher Scarver. The circumstances surrounding his death remain a subject of debate, but what is clear is that Dahmer's life was cut short, much like the lives of those he had taken. To summarize, Jeffrey Dahmer, a man who once lived in obscurity, became one of America's most notorious serial killers. He took the lives of 17 men, driven by a desire for control and possession. His crimes were discovered in 1991, leading to his conviction and subsequent life imprisonment. However, Dahmer's life was cut short in prison, ending the chilling tale of a man whose name will forever be linked with some of the most gruesome crimes in history.